Good evening and happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Creatorcon Q&A, and I'm Phil Russert, the host. I just want to say, first of all, for everybody that came out yesterday to talk with us in Third Empire and Outlaw Studios, thank you so much. Please go promote their Mojo Rising Kickstarter that's going on right now. Great group of guys, very talented. Looks like a really fun, quality book. Again, that's Mojo Rising on Kickstarter, so please go check that out. We have our usual shout outs. So we have Mad Titan Comics, Mad Titan _ comics on Instagram, and Eric Gunderson, who's the owner and operator on Facebook. We also have Enrique Lopez. If you go to his Instagram, it's Studio Maenefl, where every Monday night at 8 p.m. he has a special guest on his show, Inking with Kike. He does live inking, they do live drawing, and they have discussions. We also have www.lesdudis.com, LESDUDIS. That's Andy Lee, and it's everything pop culture and geek culture that you could ask for. It's a really fun website to get a lot of information in the industry. We have It Came From the Radio, which is an online radio show hosted by Mark Torres. He has a great group of cast members, and they do everything with indie news and pop culture news, and they're a very entertaining show. So check them out. We will have other people in the chat. Will have the links to their shows and their products and things like that I don't, unfortunately, due to time restraints, can't go through everybody, but please check out all those links in the chat. Hello, Del. Hello, Gallo. Hello, Enrique. My Robes Gallery is starting to fall in line here. They're starting to come on in. Love you guys. Thank you. And by the way, Del is a new member of the Robes Gallery. What's going on, Del? All right, so tonight, episode 10, we have Criss Madd. He is an indie artist. He's got credits that are cover work for Dead End Kids and Vampires of New Jersey. He's also done the interiors and co-created No Heroin. These are books that are available now that I highly recommend you check out. Very high quality. His art is fantastic. And Criss is certainly a character, so I'm looking forward to having him on. So without further ado, we have Criss Madd. Speaking of Mad, what's going on, boss?
Hi! What's going on?
I wouldn't expect anything different.
Welcome to my home.
So how you doing, man?
What's going on? I'd be better if all these people weren't in my house.
Say that again?
I said I'd be better if all these people weren't in my house, but hey.
Well, as long as
we got a party.
As long as you have underwear hanging on the side there, you know.
That.
I've been told that you know that old trick, yellow in the front, brown in the back.
Yellow in the front, brown in the back. What do you mean?
Your underwear, to know how to put it on right.
Underwear.
By the way, we're backstage and we're getting ready to do this. And I made it. Criss got up to do something. And I joked around saying that, what is he doing? He's wearing pants. I'm commando. So what does he do? He drops drawer. He drops drawer on the camera with me backstage. Oh, so I'm blind.
It's called Unity.
Yes, it's okay. Unity. It looked a little more like a trio. Anyway.
All right, I'll buy that.
Hi, Sid. Hey, Enrique. Hey, everybody. One Pump Nation. Dan Lee. All right, so my Rogues Gallery's here. Other people creeping in. Let's talk comics. Let's talk your career. Now, I had mentioned the indie stuff you're doing, but before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, what did you used to do before you became a full-time artist?
What? That's a loaded question. Directly before I became an artist, or just
what was your career? What was your career before you decided to become an artist?
My career was a musician.
Sweet.
But what did I? But I did graphic design for sign shops, awnings, lettering, logo design. You know.
So, at what point what was the turning point that made you say, you know what, I want to be an artist and I can do this. I can do this full time. I can do this.
The turning point is when I said, man, I got to stop drinking. No, literally. Well, now in 2014, I said I got to stop drinking. So I quit drinking, and I needed something to do with my time. And I, just thought to myself, I used to love to draw. About 6 months into my sobriety, I set up a drawing table. I started drawing. I put a couple pieces online, had a little bit of a response. It was fine. Then someone said, "Hey, could you do something for me?" And that just started to grow. I said to Shauna, my daughter, "Hey, I'm gonna take a year, draw, and see if this will go anywhere." She said, "All right," and I never went back to my day job.
Awesome. That's wonderful. I actually met you at a Jersey Con and your daughter probably like 4 years ago. And I saw a Ghost Rider that you did. And I think it was Ghost Rider, but I forget what it was, but the pencils were so tight. And I was like, man, who is this guy?
It was the Cool Rider from Grease 2.
I don't remember, but I'll take your word for it. So you're a mess. So I just remember the pencils were so tight, man, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? And I was going to get you on one of my jams, but we ran out of time. It was the last day of the con.
That's
and
right.
There was no time.
I think. Oh no. I was going to say Sora had your jam piece, but that was a different time.
Unfortunately, it was held up for the whole weekend. Yeah, I mean, I wound up getting a great piece out of it, but yeah, it was held for the whole time. But we're going to get you on one, man.
Hey,
we're going to get you on one.
It's always worth it if you got a good piece.
On that note, Ricky, hey, Chris, looking good. Congrats on all your success. Miss seeing you at the cons.
Yes, Rick. I love you. Miss you too.
By the way, Gallo, he plays the drums just like me. So I was just talking to RT Bear this afternoon, and maybe we'll have a triple drum off, you, me, and Art, at my next show. That'd be fun, right?
Yeah, that'd be real fun. I can already say you guys win.
Well, let's do a triple solo then.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Art Bear might blow my doors off.
I'll bring my inhaler and I'll play that.
So I think I know who this is, but we'll just go. He goes, "Do you think I would make a great penguin in a Batman TV show?" Wah, 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 wah.
Who was that?
He said, "Do you think I'd make a great penguin in a Batman TV show?"
Yes.
Okay. I don't know who it is, but I think it's a person I know just messing with me, taking a shot. That's what the Rogues Gallery does, man. That's why they're my Rogues Gallery. They're not my allies.
Good point. Good point.
So some of you are already aware, but if you're not, Chris is going to be doing a live drawing tonight. He said it was going to be a Spawn head sketch. He has graciously, out of his own kindness and generosity, said that the best question will win the head sketch. We didn't work out if he'll determine the best question or I will. We'll figure that out, so be nice to me. I'm kidding. Don't be nice to me. It's more fun when you're not. So throw your questions in, but I will remind you, if I don't get to your question while we're talking, we will have time after our interview is over for Q&A. Save it for then and make sure you get the question and we'll address every one of them, okay, so everyone's counted. If you're watching on YouTube, I will try to see your questions. It's not always easy, so it's easier if you can post those questions on Facebook for you to be counted in, but I will check YouTube as well. We will not make a decision today, so I can go over and review all the questions and do this, fairly for everyone. What I do is I'll make an announcement tomorrow.
Fair? When has this country been fair? Calm down.
We're not going that way now. Enrique says, "Hey, Chris.
What's going on?"
I'm
going to be doing Enrique's show, too.
Oh, you're going to do Inking with Kike?
Yeah.
Next month. When's that?
I believe it's the end of next month.
So like I said, to say at the beginning of every show, everybody go to Enrique's Instagram and go check it out. You'll see Chris there too. So I know that now you're into art, you're doing full time, and you've got some good credits. Can you tell us about the covers you did and the project that you co-created?
Well, the covers I did were for the book Dead End Kids. This is a second printing because the first batch got sold out.
Nice.
I'm sure there's a couple here and there, but for some reason they just went. The writer just promotes the hell out of everything.
Well, it's not just promoting; it's quality book and quality art. You're not used to me complimenting you, right?
I love a compliment. No, I don't really love a compliment, but I mean, just like music, if you don't have that promotion, it doesn't matter how good you are.
Right.
But the combination helps. The writer is Frank Gogol, and the book's through Source Point Press. Like I said, he busts his ass just, getting the word out there.
Right.
So that all I have to do is sit back and draw.
Nice. You should have had him do marketing for this episode.
You're right.
By the way, just to let you know, September 28th, you'll have Criss Madd on Inking with Kike. So you guys check that out, okay? You'll see him draw live.
I think we're doing a Howard the Duck piece.
Howard the Duck, sweet. And knowing your sense of humor, it might not be for children, everybody.
No, this one will be okay.
I'm just telling you now, the stuff that Chris sends me in private message could get me divorced.
I'm just passing along the message.
Yes, I know. Don't kill the messenger. Just have me killed. My wife just peeked in like, what are you talking about? I just outed myself. So tell us about the books. I mean, especially you the one that you co-created, which is No Heroin.
Well, the No Heroin is about a girl who's an ex-heroin addict. And she's going to save her boyfriend from a group of vampires that deal in drugs. And their backstory is they sell you the drugs, but it's it's not just the cost of the drugs. Then they get to feed off of you, so they can get the high.
Oh wow! I like the metaphor there. It's a great metaphor. That's amazing. I mean, so did you co-write it, or you came up with the concept?
No. Frank had the idea. He had some addiction issues in his family, as did I in the past. And it just kind of, he gave me the story. I might have mentioned a few ideas, but as far as the characters and their looks, he let me run, free with that. And it was just a very natural thing. How it started was Frank lives in San Francisco for the last 5 years.
Okay.
Maybe 4. I'm sorry. Regardless, before that, he lived a couple towns over from me. We never discussed doing a book until he went to the other side of the country. He's like, "Hey, you interested in doing a book?" Of course.
There you go. Why do it easy?
I guess if I was too close, I could pester him too much. So he was waiting. He was biding his time.
Maybe he's afraid you'd be coming over commando.
I mean, I guess the word did get out, but
there was that one incident. Yeah.
One. I wish it would just run. My rap sheet would be a lot smaller.
So now, No Heroin is out now?
No Heroin issue 1 came out on the 20. It was last month. Yes, last month, and tomorrow, No Heroin issue 2 comes out.
Awesome.
It was sold out through Diamond. The publisher, I believe, is sold out also.
That's fantastic.
If you can find it in the stores, that's great. If not, feel free to contact me because I'll have at least 3 extra copies of the full #1 series.
By the way,
more, but
The ways to contact Criss right now are his Facebook scrolling below and his Instagram. So reach out to him there, and he'll always get back to you.
I never said always.
Well, if it comes to selling a book, you better.
Hey.
So as you can see, this is why Criss doesn't do the marketing for his books.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a prank. So we have a few questions. Let's see. We got a lot of questions. And by the way, we're going to get a lot from Dell. I like Dell. I met him recently. He's a great guy. I'm just teasing him.
I have a lot of questions, too.
So, Dan Lee, being in music and also a drinker, was it tough staying focused on art while trying to exit the old party lifestyle?
Well, here's the problem. Yeah, I got into music when I was a kid. I guess by 14, I was, trying to get into a band because I wanted to be a rock and roll star, right? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, yeah. And that started fine. Did a couple albums, did a little touring. Was with a couple different bands, but nothing that. We opened for Skid Row,
nice.
At a local club. Things, just small stuff like that. But I did get to play in some cities like the Limelight. I got to play at.
Nice. I remember the Limelight. Oh, I love L'Amour's. Yeah, man.
Yep.
I saw Nevermore there, and oh my God. Well, I'll remember later. You'd think I was the one drinking.
But as the older you get, the harder it is to, get that break. So it goes from sex, drugs, and rock and roll to sex and drugs. Then you start getting a little older, and then the sex starts to wane away too, because you're not playing the rock and roll, and you're left with a handful of whatever you want to flush down the toilet to.
Yeah, this isn't the episode for children, just so you know.
I'm being. This is PG-13.
But no, but this is good though. This is good. We want to know who you are and what inspires you and what gets you going, and I think it's great. I tease, but it's great.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, the art is what. It was what I went back into doing because I doodled when I was a kid, but I was never serious about it. Art was just something for me to not have to deal with schoolwork or, because I'm a night owl. So when I had to be in my, in bed by 10 o'clock, I'd be at my desk till 4 o'clock just doodling or whatever, watching music videos.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, but this is, like I said, 5 years ago. It's just something that I latched onto so that I could focus and not have that. The music had already gone, so there wasn't a real issue with, not drinking and playing or anything like that.
Right.
I think my drinking became more once I started my own business with my friend. I had a woodworking company. And I was doing like design work on. We bought a big CNC machine, so we did like hand carved. Beautifully carved wooden tables for yachts and country clubs, and things like that. We did them for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, cool.
We had a license with Guy Harvey, and we got the license to do like the collegiate football teams in poker tables.
Oh, cool.
But the shop that we had to move into a temporary shop, and there was a fire there. Unfortunately, it wasn't zoned for commercial use, so none of the insurance was.
Oh boy!
And the drink just started getting earlier and earlier after that.
Oh man!
Hey, at least I tried it.
By the way, just to let you know, Bill Field is the producer on the show. He's been very kind. He puts all the links in the chat for everybody, just to give you that heads up. If anybody I announce or anybody I didn't have time to announce, you can always go to those links. Dell wanted to ask you, do you think drawing has saved your life or at least helped you live a happier life?
100%. 100%. I mean, not only has it given me a personal focus, but it's given me a goal that, well, up until this year, I was, running that head on. And
Well, in the short time I've known you too, I have to say, and I mean this as a compliment, as good as you were, you're one of those artists that continually progresses, and it just gets better and better and better. So it's exciting to see you at every show and see what you have to offer, because each time I just see a piece that I go, oh my God, this guy is just killing it.
I appreciate that, truly. But, it only seems that way because when we first met, I did suck.
No, you didn't. You did not suck. You know what I do think, though, is that you didn't have as much confidence, but you were good.
I have the same amount of confidence as I did then as I do now.
Well, then you hide it real well.
When I'm drawing, I like what I'm drawing, or else I wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
But it's as if when I get that last dot of pencil or that last drop of ink on, and I go, all right, it's done. It sucks. I'll do better next time. And it's just that progression. Like each piece, let me try and remember the flaws that I had in the last one, and if they're there, yeah.
Well, I don't think I've met an artist yet that is satisfied with any past piece that they've done, to be honest with you. But I mean, I'm not an artist, so I can't say, but I do know as a musician as well, I'll look back on something I've done and I'm like, oh man, and people are like, no man, that's good, and like, oh.
I mean, when you go for music, that's a 50-50. 50% are going, oh man, that last piece was horrible. I could write something better. The other half was, that last piece I did was good.
So, during your art career, how do you get past creator blocks? Veer wanted to ask that.
I don't. I have yet to have a creator block as far as like just being blocked. I mean, since we've been in quarantine, I've had a lot more moments of finding the motivation, but I don't think I don't consider it a block as far as my creativity. It's just that everything is so stagnant.
Right.
You're not feeding your imagination with all the things. Every con you go to, you see something cool. You just have all these little bits and pieces you take away from everything.
Right.
That you may not realize it, and you put it into the art later on. And now you don't have that. I've got how many channels of BS to just watch?
Well, that's why I'm getting like the 1:30 in the morning conversations going, you and I on Facebook DM.
And that's early.
Oh, I know, dude. And I'm up all the time too. I don't even really sleep much.
Yeah.
So Steve wanted to ask, your stuff is super cool, man. Question, what is the one medium that you haven't tried that you want to at some point try? Not necessarily for comics, but just to play with and explore artistically.
Well, first of all, I would thank you. I mean, I'm glad that it's cool. And I would love to get into a medium. Right now I'm in extra larges. So it's, I'm working my way back down. But I don't know. I love oil. I've tried oil painting maybe 4 times. One of them is hanging behind me.
Nice.
It's hard to see.
It looks like Rogue.
I'm sorry?
I can't tell, but it looks like Rogue.
No, it's just a girl dancing on the top of a building.
Oh, okay.
And you're looking down at the ground behind her. And blah, 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 bullshit. I want to get into, I've been playing with watercolor lately.
What are you doing to me, man?
It's a Pokemon.
Is that a Pokemon? Because it sure hell looks like something else.
I think it's called a Weezer.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I figured I'd do something a little bit more simple, like Pokemon, and work with watercolors for right now. Ben Harvey.
Great guy, great guy, great artist.
Great guy, great artist. We're both part of Artist Allies. And doing the conventions with him, watching his watercolors, they're beautiful, and that's something that I really want to put some time into.
Yeah.
But it's also it's just that, it's putting time into it. And then if you have sketch covers, and I know right now I should have a lot of free time, but with finishing No Heroin, I'm starting a new book next month called Dirge. I just haven't found a moment to expand.
Right. Well, deadlines come first.
That's right.
So you told us about No Heroin. What about Dead End Kids and Vampires from New Jersey and the book that you just mentioned? Give us a plug here. Tell us.
Dirge, I just got the script, so I really don't know a whole lot about it. But I'm excited from the synopsis that I read. The writer, oh my god, I'm blanking here.
You better not be watching.
I know, right? And I know I'm stymied right now.
You'll come back to it.
I will, but it's a darker book. A guy that comes back from the dead. I don't want to say it's like The Crow.
So it's not as positive as The Heroin Addict with the vampires.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
correct.
It's a darker book. Okay,
that's more of an uplifting story. She's
okay.
She's going through her trials, but it's to come out on top. I don't think the dead guy. I mean, as much as he comes out on top, he's dead. So your bottom line is right there.
So you all know the ending.
Wow, that's the beginning.
Well, there you go.
It's a 10-issue story. I have no idea how long it's going to take. Like what the schedule for this is going to be. If it's going to be a quarterly book.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of the goal. And like I said, I'm excited to give it a shot. Give me 2 seconds here.
And what are the plans for No Heroin? I mean, I know you said issue 2 comes out tomorrow. Do you have is there a story arc already created? And how many issues will it be, and how often will it be put out?
Well, it's a 3-issue mini, so tomorrow is our halfway point.
Okay.
And from there, I don't know if we have been greenlit for a volume 2, but I believe that is in the works.
Will there be a paperback of the first 3 issues?
Yes, there will be a trade paperback with
Nice.
a lot of extra stuff. I believe that it's going to be the equivalent of 4 issues.
Okay.
But there's going to be a lot of the sketch arts, some prose from the right ideas that Frank had initially, and we're just going to try and pack it full of extra content.
And you have the original cover to one of those books, don't you? Was that Vampires in New Jersey?
I do have. I've got a cover. Yes.
As you can see, Chris is organized as well.
Yes, we have the original artwork.
Nice.
The Vampires of New Jersey.
Beautiful. I love the energy in that.
Thank you. And
is that for sale?
A color shot. Oh, everything's for sale. What, are you kidding me?
Even his underwear, people.
Come on. I mean, yes, of course. I can always buy more. My mom is too. Who wants some? A little bit, if you want.
Sid, you know Sid. She's part of your artist allies.
Yes, she is.
Hey, Chris, another artist I love, Sid Van Blue over here. When do you set the line on a piece you're drawing on and make the decision to stop working on it?
That's a really... I don't.
There you go.
No, I don't think I really set any... There is never any finish. Either I think, either I finally look at it and go, okay, it's done. I've put enough time into it. If it's, especially on a deadline issue. If not, sometimes Shauna will say, "The hell are you doing?" Because her being my colorist just makes her life that much harder.
By the way, she's a colorist and she's very good.
It's funny you mentioned that because I just did a poster for Caleb Thrust from Village Comics.
Okay.
He's doing a big poster for his next Kickstarter. I don't know if any of this can be seen.
Oh, you just posted this. Yeah, that's beautiful. The detail's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, like you said, I just didn't know when to stop.
Pull it back a little bit and they'll see it. Pull it back more so they can see the bottom because they can't see. Bring it up. There you go. See that? Look at that. That's crazy. Beautiful
Woo!
detail. Nice work.
But yeah, this one, it was basically, I just kept going and going until I realized, the colorist needs it now.
There's not more I can do, right?
I could.
So how did you get your break into art and what was your first gig?
I didn't have to break in. The door was wide open. It was easy. No, like I said, I just posted a couple pictures, and that's something I've never been really happy with doing. I'm not a fan of my art. It's okay, but every time, like I said, I can do better. So being a fan isn't really... But you just having people ask, hey, could you do something for me, was enough for me to want to, okay, let me... where did I get my first break? I did a book called Psycho with a couple of local guys. One of the gentlemen is Phil Will. I haven't seen him. He's been kind of laying low. But that was my first. It never got published. The pages got drawn. He was going to ink it. And that was my first attempt at a full book.
Okay.
And a full letdown of not, nothing.
Sorry.
No, and it not going anywhere. And that's
better to get it out of the way in the start, though, right?
Exactly. I mean, my second book that actually got published, which was The Angel Wars from Until We Sleep Comics. That was Bob Garr and a few other people. And that one, it did get published. I got $10 a page. Wow. And I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, hot damn.
You know, to get paid doing what you love, that's great no matter what the rate is, right? In the beginning.
No, it is. And I mean, not that my rates have gone up that much more since, but
no, I will say very affordable and fantastic work. I highly recommend people commission. And are you open for commissions?
I am always open for commissions. It's not I mean, sometimes I'm swamped, but I try. If I try and fit it in. If I can't, I will say this is how far out I am.
Okay.
If you're willing to wait, great. If not, I always welcome. Hey, just keep hitting me up. If you don't want to wait, and as soon as that next opening, if you can,
right? As long as they can be patient,
I will slip you in. I will try and sneak in a quickie whenever I can.
Yeah, deadlines first, then you get your quickie. Vera is asking, do you take any personal experiences or personal life lessons and incorporate them into your comics?
With the No Heroin, yes, there was a lot of reflection there, and I guess I do think I put a bit of me into it, into her position, because that is something else I overcame years ago. But I was stupid enough. I'm one of those why not guys. I say, what the hell?
Well, that could be good and that could be bad, right? It's got its good and bad side to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's also what led you to just getting into art and making a life out of that. So, there is a good part about that.
Yeah. I mean, you can take anything to an extreme and, make it a bad thing.
Agreed. So when you're doing the sequentials on that book, I mean, does drawing from life experience, expounding on Vera's question, does that help you with the energy of each page and what's going on in them?
Yes. No. I don't know if it's more the I try and put that contemplation and that introspection into, I want to say, having the characters emote. That is something that I really enjoy, like expressions on faces and just you're getting that. I wish I had learned animation a little bit before I got into this, because animators just get such a great feel. It's a combination, like Greg Capullo, who is my favorite artist, and I know that, sure, that was a question that you would be asking. But Capullo is my favorite artist because he's not just technical and he's got all this crazy detail, but there's an element of animation that gives his art life and expression, and and that's something that I'm striving for.
Yeah, his facial expressions especially are great, and I remember his Spawn work alone was spectacular with a lot of the stuff he did. So I love his work.
His Spawn work is excellent, but the Batman stuff, like I said, I saw a bit cleaner side to his artwork. Because Spawn was just so dark and gritty. Not that Batman isn't, but some of those characters he kept, and you just got this a little softer side where I felt like the characters had that light.
Right. Absolutely.
I guess we put that into Sam and Twitch too.
Yeah, hey, that's true. Yeah, they did. He did. But with your experiences in life, doing the book, did it hit you emotionally at all when you were doing it?
Sometimes, yeah. Like sometimes I actually have to take a minute, because I was remembering, just all the unpleasantness that it brought. I got to a point, where I quit on my own with that after 5 years, and it was, I just didn't like myself anymore, and I saw the change. I mean, I think I was 100 and maybe 30 pounds, maybe less, but I realized I needed a change of life, and there was moments that I can't actually talk about because you said, "Hey, keep it light and friendly." But you have to stop and you remember, like where I was then as opposed to where I am now.
Right.
And
that's always important.
It's like heaven being in this little shoebox shithole I am in now, compared to the
personal shitbox that you were in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't imagine what it is to have that kind of conflict and demons within yourself. But if you look at all the great creators in the world, whether it's Eric Clapton or whomever, they all draw on their demons to inspire them to create. And that's, if you can take a good out of a bad, I think that's one of those things.
Yeah, so absolutely. I mean, none of it was ever positive, but you can you can make something grow from it.
Absolutely. By the way, just more people say hi, Phil and Chris from Danielle and Jimmy. They're really nice people. They're great supporters of my show. She's an awesome cosplayer. He's an artist. They're good people. They say hello.
Hello.
So okay, at this point, you got the book coming out tomorrow, and you have the other project. Do you have other projects in the work as well coming out soon, or after that, it's just seeing where you're going with heroin? No heroin.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're going to see where we're going with heroin right now. I don't know if this is announced, but Frank is working. He's working on the volume 2, the follow up to No Heroin, which is a complete new story.
Okay.
With different characters, but still within I want to say the same ideals as the first book, as far as the first volume was more of a Stand By Me type of book with friends that grow up and how their life took them through through, I guess, teenagers into adulthood.
Now you sold me on that. That's cool.
It definitely has a Stand By Me feel. There's a trade paperback for that. Like I said, I have a couple copies. If you want them, I'll hook you up.
Awesome.
And the new book he's working on now, I believe they're already done with the second issue. And
great.
It's going to be, I don't know. The first arc was a 3-issue mini. I'm not sure if this one's 4 or 6 issues, but.
So how loose is he with his scripts? Like, how much leeway does he give you as an artist to express and tell the story through art?
He is amazingly, he gives me all the detail he wants in his script, but however I want to lay it out and whatever else I want to add in, that's where I contribute elements that I think he's drawn from to enhance in the issues later.
Nice.
So that's how we kind of collaborate, and yeah, he's very open to letting me do.
So it's good to give you that structure, though, because I know as an artist, if a writer's too loose, it's like, oh my god, what do dude, give me a little outline here.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the guys that are the other way that they're strict. It's got to be this way.
Yes. Yeah. No. I mean, I like content. If a writer, the more information you give me, the better. That doesn't mean I'm not going to take half that information and throw it aside. Yeah.
Right. But you'll pick as an artist what you need to tell through the art out of what they give you. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I don't need a novel to one page. Yeah. Yeah. When I get very little, hey, do whatever you'd like. Feel free. Here's the idea for the page, kind of thing. That doesn't. The book's never going to get done.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine it's hard because, like, look, I'm not the writer. I mean, I am doing some of the storytelling through the art, but you're the writer. You're supposed to give me a script.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's kind of like remember the TV show Lost? The last episode was kind of like, see it as however you see it.
No. We're actually just watching that, so don't.
Oh, all right. I'm not ruining it. Okay. You're only like a decade behind, but okay.
Hey, I've heard Lost. What I do is I've got a couple monitors above my drawing table, so I listen to TV all day long while I'm drawing. So I've heard it, but then if I sit down and actually watch it, I'm like, oh, what the hell is this?
It was a good show. It was entertaining, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Being that a lot of your books have a horror theme with the vampires and everything, Danielle was asking, what is your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie. I'm not a real big horror guy. No.
Come on, stop it. He loved fried green tomatoes, right? Fried green tomatoes. That's your favorite.
No. Steel Magnolias, hands down. Hands down. No, I love The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys. Dracula.
What about Fright Night? I love Fright Night.
That's in my top 5.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Sky. I mean, you're talking the original though.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course. With Chris Sarandon. Yes.
Yep.
I love that movie.
One of my Evil is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Oh, Brewster.
You're so cool, Brewster.
You're so cool, Brewster.
That is actually, I think that's one of my notification tones on my phone.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I always loved John Carpenter's The Thing.
I love The Thing.
That is an amazing movie. I mean, it's a remake of The Thing that came from outer space, or The Thing from Outer Space, but it was such a unique story.
Yes. I just found out or saw something that John Carpenter actually had something to do with the latest remake of that.
The one that was the prequel, basically. It shows what happened before
No,
the dog.
the one with was it Weinstein? The actress
Weinstein?
The female actress. That
was out like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was a remake. I didn't think that was a prequel.
No, it was a prequel. It was the station at, that it's when the alien was first discovered at the first station. Remember the beginning of The Thing? The helicopter's trying to shoot the dog.
Yep.
It's the people that were at the helicopter trying to shoot the dog. It's before. Yeah, it's before.
Huh.
Gallo says it's being remade now. All right, no remakes, please. That's a classic. Leave it be. If you want to tell me what happened to Kurt Russell, I'm fine with that. But
yeah, I mean, I don't understand all these remakes. The worst part of it is that Disney, everything has to be live action now.
I know, and they're not as good as
their animation has always been top notch. Why can't they put a little bit of that in there?
Right. And by the way, it was Mark. It was Mary Elizabeth Winstead. See, Mark knows all this stuff. That's why you got to go listen to his show. It came from the radio. There you go, Mark.
The girl from Sky High.
Yes, I like Sky High.
I do too.
I know. I actually went on a date with my wife to see that. She wasn't my wife at the time. Oh, are you kidding? If she could sit through that, I knew she was a keeper. If she went to that with me. Yeah, test them early, man. Test them early. Dutch ovens, everything. You get it out of the way, and you know they're a keeper.
A what?
You never heard of a Dutch oven?
Not yet.
You pass gas under the covers and you pull them overhead.
Oh. Okay.
So much for this show. Okay, we've all gone downhill now, everybody. We're done. Take care.
None of that was my doing.
Yeah.
I was talking about Sky High, damn it.
Have you ever wanted to work for one of the big two?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I guess I started collecting comics probably when I was about 19. I mean, my parents would give me Batmans and comic books rolled up in my stocking for Christmas.
So you've only been reading for about 5 years.
I started like when I was 19.
Yeah, so about 5 years.
Maybe. Yeah, 5 years. Okay, I'll buy that. Hot damn. You're getting my good side, I guess.
If there is one.
Hey,
you're sitting on it.
Years,
you're sitting on it.
Yeah. That's not far from the truth. Although that's going real quick too.
Yeah.
I
mean, like your art, show us. No, I was kidding.
I already tried, but you were like, "Hey, what are you doing? This is a family-friendly show." I mean, if you want, I'll stand up. No.
Oh wow! Everybody just left. No, it's good.
But yeah, I wanted to do Marvel stuff because I started out with Akira comics, and then then X-Men came in, and I was like, wow, look at this stuff. It was just awesome. Then that was like the late '80s, so Jim Lee and Silvestri and they were all in there.
Nice.
And I wanted to, and I would draw their characters back then. But again, music was my thing. It wasn't something I was pursuing. Right. I did put in an application at the Kubert School.
Okay.
And I got rejected because I couldn't live on campus because I was married at the time when I was 19. And
okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Money saved.
What's that?
I guess money saved. It's a great school, but I guess money saved.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, either way, somehow I ended up right back in that same path
Right.
of that Mack truck. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I wanted to draw Marvel. Now, I'd really love to draw my goal, do a couple issues of Batman, just because that is the book that when I was little, my mom would draw Batman and Robin on just regular copy paper and cut them out so that I have action figures to play with.
Oh, that's cute.
So that was pretty awesome. And I don't know how many times she made me Batmobiles out of cardboard that I could wear
That is awesome.
and play Batman for Halloween or whatever.
That is awesome.
And,
so who would you be? Who would be your creative team? Your writer, inker, colorist?
I'm gonna say Shauna, my colorist, because she's in earshot.
She is good though. She's a good colorist.
She really is.
Hi, Shauna.
She's back there coloring. I don't really have a dream team. Only because I'd like to see. I'd like to see different writing styles. It wouldn't matter to me. Like I said, having my name on a Batman book
would be good enough.
Anywhere would just be like, all right, I'm done. I'm good to go.
I got a writer for you. His name is Raphael. We'll have him write it for you.
There we go.
Guy. Yeah.
All right.
But is there a writer out there now that you think would fit your style well?
I don't know if I have a style. I'm going to say this in all seriousness. A lot of people say, oh man, you're a great horror artist. I've never considered myself a horror artist. I mean, even I'm not prepared enough, but it just, my work just comes out that way. It just, I'm not. I like it. It just tends to gravitate more dark than anything. Even the Pokemon stuff comes out a little darker. There was a caterpillar that someone purchased. I did a drawing of it's called a Caterpie.
Okay.
But it was like smashed on the ground as if someone had stepped on it.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Yeah. It was
wholesome.
Exactly.
I don't know why they consider you horror.
I don't either. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Keith was asking, Keith Brunswick, what comics do you read and do you collect at this point?
I mean, well, before this COVID bullshit, 11 o'clock Wednesday morning, I was at the comic book store come hell or high water. I get my pulls and I read Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men.
Nice.
I'm probably 6 months behind on every book.
Well, you've been busy.
What's that?
You've been busy.
I try, and I just read them and I keep them how they came week by week, so I'm not skipping her.
So you're in order, but the
Absolutely.
pile's getting high.
I'll go to the comic book store, tomorrow, and people will talk about what happened last week in whatever issue, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't read it," and I always say, "Don't worry about it. By the time I get to it, I won't remember what the hell you said anyhow."
Nice. By the way, Buddy came on to say hi. I know this guy. I had to stop by and show some indie support. Keep killing it, Chris.
Phil, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's going to be on my show tomorrow night. I'm going to do another special episode with Phil. It's his birthday. Oh. He's a birthday boy tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
He turns 17, I think.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, at least that's what he told me. I don't know if I should believe him.
He's a Jersey boy. You know?
Yeah. Well,
if he wants to drive,
he was. Now he's a Georgia boy.
What's that?
Now he's a Georgia boy.
Oh, really? He moved to Georgia?
He's a Georgia boy. He's all set up in his new studio and his new brand, and he's good to go.
Oh,
doing very well.
Let me do a shout out, dumbass.
All right, Phil, you brought that on yourself. I had nothing to do with that. You're a mess.
I'm telling you. You know,
so, Dan Lee. Go ahead.
I'm getting like no drawing done on this piece.
I noticed, but that's all right. I'm not announcing till tomorrow anyway.
Yeah,
Pull it the other way. There you go. Nice. Very nice. Dan Lee had asked, Are you a better artist sober or jacked?
I don't think I've ever drawn drunk. I don't think I ever have, yeah.
Okay.
And I think all the oil, any of the oil paintings, I had other enhancements. Not alcohol, but
okay.
And maybe that's why I'm not like dying to get back. You know, I'd love working with oils because they're so, you can just force them to your will, you know?
Right.
But there's also that again, that element in the back of my head, like there was a time of my life, so it's not as interesting now.
Well, Dell was asking, I know this book caused a lot of pain for you, but was this book helpful to close that chapter in your life? Doing No Heroin, did it give you any closure? Or is it an ongoing book, so it's still ongoing?
Again, I don't know if it's ongoing, but I don't know if it really gave me closure, because I think I had already had closure, but it definitely brought me to a place of introspection. You know, it just gave me an appreciation for what I've attempted to do. You know, right. when you give up a drug like that, I mean, it is a weight that is lifted off you.
Yeah.
And you know, I felt that freedom to become an alcoholic. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, 100%.
You know what, though? It is kind of a better step, though, at least. I mean, it's progression in a way, in a weird way.
And now look at me. I'm a 100% functional fool.
And not just that, but you got an awesome beard. Gallo said that he asked who does your beard and what's the inspiration for it.
What? Who does the beard is mine. I grew it all myself. Ugh. And the inspiration, I was going gray on my chin. So I said, let's have fun with it. Shauna calls it the skunk.
The skunk.
The skunk.
Well, it matches your breath.
I was going to say my ass, but all right.
Yeah, well, you don't have the beard on your ass. At least I hope not. If you do, I'm glad you didn't show us.
I was going to save that for later, but you want to spoil the surprise for everyone?
Yeah, whoever wants to win the sketch, you have to see him stand up and moon you. If you can endure that for 3 minutes straight and your eyes won't bleed, you can have the sketch.
I guess I'm keeping this then.
Dell asked, have you ever worked on a project and be sad that it has ended?
When I finished the last issue of No Heroin, the third issue, yeah, I was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, you know, just with all that thought that I put into it, you know, equating, you know, moments with me and, yeah, of course, it was, Frank and I would talk every day or almost every day. And now it's like, I don't hear from him anymore.
Aww. Somebody give Chris a hug. Shauna, where are you? Go give him a hug. He's like, I'm busy coloring.
Right?
She's like, I'm not coming near the skunk. Oh, there she is. Hi, Shauna. You'll all see Shauna with Criss at shows. If she's taking commissions, let us know because she colors. If anybody needs coloring,
You hear that? Yeah, I mean she's only colors digitally right now.
that's all right. Most people do at this point.
I'd love for her to get into more traditional.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are in such a small. My living room is 2 studios, the living room, the dining room, and the place where the magic happens. The TV room, meaning.
Yeah. Well.
But that was another plan for this. If this year had gone according to plan, had it gone according to plan, we were looking at moving, expanding, having a studio. Who knows?
You'll get there. Listen, it's just my thoughts on this. I know that 2020 has been very hard for a lot of people, myself included. But I also know that all of us in our lives have gone through a lot of stuff. I mean, just even listening to your past, I don't think 2020 can even compare to the addiction that you fought. So if you can get through that, this is cake. And I would say to anybody out there who feels depressed or down or feels like, this is the permanent status, no, it's not. It's a bump in the road, but this road is continuous. It goes on. You just have to stay strong, stay focused, find the positive. I'm telling you, things will get better. We'll get back to cons. We'll get back to things. We'll get back to seeing Criss at shows. Hopefully he won't indecently expose himself, and it'll be great. So just hang tight, everybody, and stay tough and strong, because what your plans are, they might be on hold, but they will continue. You just got to be persevere and be strong. That's what I would say.
Well, that sounded very positive. I like that.
I'm a positive kind of guy.
That's good. I mean, because now what happens when I'm evicted next month because I can't pay my rent?
Well, you and Sean will come hang out here. We'll give you some room. I'll give you the basement for now. It's furnished. You won't be homeless. We'll bring you in as long as you don't mind little kids running over your head.
Oh,
Gallo,
I don't mind it. And hey, you get free art.
By the way, all right, listen, when do you want to move in? By the way, my friend Gallo, he's a real estate agent. He said he can help you if you move to New York. To New York, he can help you.
Well, I hear a lot of people are moving out, so are we getting good deals in the city there?
Well, talk to Gallo Romero on the side. He can help you out. Good guy, honest guy, and fair. So,
actually, originally I'm from Manhattan.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
What the hell made you move to Jersey?
I was a kid. My parents did it to me.
Blame the parents. Okay.
Yeah. He moved. He moved here back in the day, and this is just where we stayed. And I've tried. I've tried like hell. I moved back to New York. I lived down in Alphabet City. I moved out to Seattle. I've moved to the Florida Keys, Kentucky, Ohio. And every single time I get sucked back here to Jersey.
Well, I think we would all welcome you back to New York.
Unfortunately, the legal, once you're in the system in New Jersey, they don't let you go. Not until you paid up, sucker.
My theory is people live in Jersey because they get lost on the roads and say, to hell with it, I'm staying.
Very possible.
I can see it now, though. I'm going to get a knock on my door at 3 a.m, and it's going to be him and Shauna there with a bunch of bags. I'm like, as long as you bring the free art, we're good to go.
You're out more Long Island area, right?
Now I am. I was born and raised in Queens, lived there all my life, but having kids and everything. My wife has settled down in the suburbs. I'm like, no, I like Queens, but she was right. She was smart, and as I'm older now, I'm happy we're out here. So,
well, I think that's what it was with my parents. My dad was from Harlem, and when they got married, they were living in Hell's Kitchen, which is where I was,
My dad grew up in Hell's Kitchen.
Okay. Then we moved out to the Bronx because that's where his family moved. And I guess they just didn't want to raise kids, out in the city. So after my sister, once my mom got knocked up again, they said, "All right, let's go down the shore."
And that was it.
Yeah. Now there's I've got. Doesn't matter whether I go to the beach or not. I'm a 5-minute drive. I haven't been there in years, and there's still sand in my ass. It never ends.
Well, getting back to comics and your career, who were and are your art influences besides Greg Capullo?
Jim Lee was for a long time. Louis Portacio. I always thought his stuff was just when he was doing X Factor, and I
love that run and the covers he did. Oh,
but I think one of my favorites has got to be Katsuhiro Otomo, the creator for Akira.
Yeah,
because that was the first book that I bought and collected as an adult for me, and I was like, I was there on opening day when the movie was released in New York.
Nice.
I just followed his work intently.
My only issue with Akira is I still don't know what the heck the ending was about.
You don't know what a happy ending's about?
No, I don't know. I didn't understand the ending to it. It was a little convoluted for me. I haven't seen it in many years, but I just remember enjoying the movie, and then the ending was kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't actually know if it had if there was any closure to that.
It didn't seem like it, no.
Yeah, it's been a few years for me too.
And I wonder, they keep talking about doing a live action movie. I wonder if they're going to change the ending and do something else with it. We'll find out. But what's that?
No, you said they're changing the ending?
No, I was saying if they do a live action film of it, I wonder if they would decide to change the ending to quote unquote Americanize it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the Japanese animation back then, they always had these very odd, convoluted endings in my mind. And for an American audience, I can see them trying to rewrite that or something.
I hope not. That would. I think. I mean, when Ghost in the Shell was announced, so many people were put off by Scarlett Johansson having the role or any changes being made. I mean, it was a good movie, but I would have. What's that?
I haven't seen it.
It's a good movie, but I too feel like it should have been kept a little bit more. We didn't need to Americanize too much. Same with Akira. I would if they followed it step by step, either from the book or the animated, I'd be happy. I don't know the actor's name, but there was an Asian actor who was on Supernatural. I don't know if you know that show.
I don't watch that either.
You should.
It's good, though.
I mean, it's really good.
I work 4 jobs and run a convention. I don't have time for anything other than right now.
Well, you can't take a moment to come over and spend an hour on the couch with me?
You live like 3 hours away. But you may be living with me soon.
You get here, the show is still only an hour. And if you want, if the drive is too long, we can binge. We'll do a couple hours to make it worth your while.
All right, I'll bring the popcorn.
All right.
Or you might be living with me soon, and we'll figure it out.
Really.
And I'll catch it every day. My wife will be like, "He's paying rent with art." Yeah, shh. This is a good deal now. So, with your sense of humor, let me ask you, what was your favorite convention moment? Are you serious?
What's that?
You just sent me a message.
I have no idea what it is. I haven't even seen it. I just forwarded it along because I knew where it came from.
Oh my God, you're killing me, dude. Anyway, you're killing me. Well, we're not going to get into the message that I was sent, but anyway. So what was a crazy or a good con memory?
I honestly, every con I've done has been fun. It's been I don't think I've really had any issues. There's nothing that's my favorite con moment. Obviously, was
Creatorcon. I mean, stuff for Comic and Art Expo, right? Gotcha.
That's right. Yes, that is actually my favorite moment. Was the load-in at New York, my first time.
Okay, why is that?
Well, just because I never thought that would ever happen.
That's cool.
Especially that was I did New York Comic Con, but my first one was 2018. So that's 3 years into me picking up a pencil, really.
Right. It's tough to get in there, man.
What's that?
It's tough to get in.
It is.
But you know what, Roberto's got good with Negan to get people in. So.
Roberto's done nothing but good by me.
Good.
It's whatever headaches there are. It's always the communication is there. So I don't mind having an argument with someone. I saw a post. You said, "Don't ignore me." You don't mind arguing, but what you don't like is being ignored.
Right.
And that's the same thing there. I mean, I don't mind arguing as long as that argument has an end result.
It's productive, right?
Yeah.
But you argue if it matters.
What's that?
But my point is, like you said, if you're arguing, it's because it matters. When you just act like you're not existing, then yeah.
Yeah. And usually, I mean, like you said, if it doesn't matter, I'm not going to argue.
Right.
And I'm also not going to argue if I'm right. There's no point.
So you're arguing all the time.
Most of the time.
Hey, Russell, I don't know if you're talking to Phil Locklear or myself, but thanks for coming out. How you doing, Russell Allen? And Mark, there's an inside joke. I have my Rogues Gallery, and you've been on the chat before. Mark was talking about Red Lobster and Shake Shack, and so was Veer. He was mentioning it. Back when Geraldo Borges was on, he was saying that he loves Red Lobster because him and I are going to go out to dinner after the next New York Con. And then he said he likes Shake Shack too. So the ongoing joke is I'm treating everybody to Red Lobster and Shake Shack. And as long as you all know it's a joke, because I'm not paying for all you deadbeats. I'm kidding. But that's my Rogues Gallery. That's why they're the Rogues Gallery, because they're here to bust my chops. So, but what do you have, like a crazy convention moment? Something that was just outlandish, or like, oh wow, that was hysterical? Or I mean, I know you had Todd McFarlane keeping you from sitting at your table. I asked him to move.
That's probably the biggest. The craziest moment so far. I'm still new to the scene, so I'm trying. But yeah, I stepped away from my table. I think I went to go get someone else's, sign a book for me. Sean Gordon Murphy. And I came back, and McFarlane's behind my table talking to John Leguizamo, because he was on the back side of me. And I was just standing there. He had his people, and the guy.
I had him ask him to move for you so you could get back to work.
Yeah. And I said to him, I said, don't bother him right now. When he's done, I'll ask him to take a picture with me for wasting my time. And I said it loud enough so he'd hear me. I was joking, but.
He was pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I got a pic. It was me, Todd, John Leguizamo, and DMC.
Yeah.
That's like, are you kidding me?
Nice.
Yeah, that's a hell of an introduction to New York Comic Con.
I agree, and I was there. I witnessed it all.
Yeah.
So, what's the craziest?
So why are you asking?
They don't know. We're talking to a bunch of other people.
Oh yeah.
So, what's the craziest commission you ever got requested? I asked this to everybody because I get some great stories.
All right, so I had a gentleman. He really liked the Gotham show. Do you remember Gotham?
Yeah.
On the WB.
No, it was on Fox.
It was on Fox?
Yeah. Come on, man, get the story right. What are you doing?
Doesn't matter what channel it was on. The guy was on the internet on my damn monitor screen thingy, and he said, "Hey, could you do the actress that played Catwoman?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" He said, "All right. How about could you do her with a dog?" Because he'd found a picture, I guess one of her dogs, or she's a dog lover. Sure, I could do that. All right. Then he said, "What?" He's asking me what poses I should do. I said, "Whatever you'd like. If you have something in mind, tell me what you want. I'll do a quick thumbnail, just to, so it's right for you." And he said, "All right. Well, how about what if she owns a brothel?"
This is an underage kid, man.
What's that?
She's an underage kid, isn't she?
I don't know. I did not do that much investigating, because he said, "So, what do you think?" And maybe the dog has friends that he brings back to the brothel. Yeah, and then he goes, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not sure where you're going with this. He said, "Well, why can we workshop this? Let's work this out. What do you think? How do you think they do?" And he wanted me to role play this with him. He's like, "Are you not interested in maybe trying to get a fun idea going?" I said, "Not for this one."
Wow. That's gotta be the weirdest one yet.
That was
Wow, some people, woof. So yeah, that's better than the panda story, right, Mark? My God. Oh my God, I think that's the winner so far. Out of 11 shows, that's the winner so far.
I felt dirty after that.
Yeah, I would have had to take 3 showers. That's just, wow.
I only took one. I'm not that dirty.
Yeah. Veer said, have you ever drawn Philip? What's that?
You've heard a little bit about my past, so no.
Veer said, have you ever drawn Philip Russell like the French Kate Winslet in Titanic?
Have I ever?
Yeah.
I don't have it. I did.
Veer, stop telling everybody our secrets, man. See, Rogues Gallery. I'm telling you.
I did draw. I have drawn a girl that way.
Well, but you haven't drawn. Well,
not
we
you.
won't get into that. Yeah. Shh.
Not yet.
Bill Fields, who's actually, thank you for being a producer and putting all the links in the chat. He does it every show. Thank you, my friend. How should older creators proceed in getting noticed by publishers and studios? And what advice would you give to older artists pursuing their dreams as you have?
That's a really good question, because I don't even know how for me, it was just networking at shows. That's how I've done it. I mean, commission work is great online, but it's the conventions that really brought me into the community and got my work out to the people that are looking to hire.
Right.
When I'd go up and introduce myself to any and everyone I can.
Right.
I don't
Todd
know.
McFarlane, get off my table.
Exactly. Exactly. No, but before this, I thought a pencil is all I needed, because 5 years ago when I started doing this, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a penciler. And as soon as I started looking around, that's not really a thing anymore. If you don't pencil and ink yourself, it's harder to get hired.
Really?
Now I'm like, hell. I mean, unless you're an established name,
right?
People don't want to pay a team. And I think it's an odd mentality, because I'm charging extra if I have to ink myself.
Well, you should. It's extra work.
Yeah, it's twice the work, because I'm not an inker. So my pencils are pretty tight for me to ink over. They're getting looser.
See, I was going to ask you that, because there are a lot of people that they'll do the loose rough and then they'll tighten it up with the inks. But I find that amazing. You have to have a lot of confidence in that, because inks, granted you have the whiteout pens, but inking is inking. It's not erasing like a pencil. So, I would think you would tighten up the pencils and then ink over it. But to save time, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, I consider this a loose pencil.
That's loose?
Yeah.
Wow.
For me, like, if I were actually going to sit down and do, ink, and which this will be an ink piece, but I've also, like I said, I've always, if we're at a convention, I will introduce myself to any and everyone. And in that aspect, I've also gotten lucky to where I've met Walden Wong, Kevin Conrad,
Nice.
Jonathan Glapian, and those people I have been able to, converse with enough that I feel they have actually been they're my teachers as far as inking, because I knew the tools, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
And now I've got a lot better grasp on it. I enjoy it more. I did not used to enjoy inking.
Will you be inking that alien piece? Because that'll look killer black and white, man.
I will be inking that alien piece.
Is that a commission for sale, or is that already sold?
It's not up for sale yet, but it will be. Everything I do, if I'm going to be inking this one at full size. I think
Go the other way a little bit.
Up.
There you go. Oh, sweet.
My Hellboy.
Nice.
I just roughed this one out. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with.
Ooh, I like that. I like the shadow on the face, and you got his radar going. Very nice.
Yeah, a little. And like I said to you earlier, most of my stuff it starts out as a morning warm up doodle, and if I think if it's going in a nice direction, I'll set it aside, and then put more time into it. If not, I finish it. It goes in my book, and if someone wants it, cool. If not, cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. One day I'll die, and my kids will go, "Oh, look, kindling."
We have all this art. Yeah. Hey, if we run out of toilet paper, I mean, we have another problem where there's a toilet paper shortage.
And now we have a paper towel shortage.
Do we really?
We do. My grocery store hasn't had it. It's been a couple weeks. Not every shelf is toilet paper. Not one roll of paper towels.
I can't explain it anymore. I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to wrap my head around it at all.
No, I didn't understand why everyone was stocking up on toilet paper.
Yeah, I know.
I understand a runny nose, but holy shit.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
So Dan asked, what advice would you give to a writer on how to communicate better with his artist? Dan's got his own book that's going to be out soon, so I can't wait to promote that and show everybody off his book. So what would you say to that?
How to communicate? I guess the best thing to do is give as much information as you can, but don't be so anal that every bit of it is important. Be comfortable with letting go of those precious words.
Let the art tell the story too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's supposed to accompany the text.
Yeah, and I love words. When I pick up a comic book, as much as I
use them all the time.
What's that?
I use them all the time.
On the page. Yes. Like some of those Batman issues that Tom King did, where it's Bat, Cat. I'm going, oh my! I'm kicking myself in the ass for. Like I could just thumb through it at the store, put it back on the shelf. Huh, there you go. I like that a cohesive narrative with they have to complement each other.
Yeah, it's a marriage, exactly.
Not every marriage is good. You see my ring?
Yeah. It was the one ring to rule them all, right?
So she thought. Fortunately, no one told me that.
So Veer says, "Hey Chris, I've got some paper towels if you want to trade for art."
Woohoo! Who's
So
your favorite character?
yeah, there you go, Veer. Veer's a big art collector, actually.
Is he?
Yeah. So have you thought about the digital medium, or you like traditional pencils?
I've got I color digitally. I'm my own. I color sometimes. Shauna taught me how to do that. She snickers in the background, but um, other than that, I just inking to me just doesn't feel right digitally. Um, I've tried one of those iPads and Procreates, and that was
Yeah.
nice, but it was at a convention at someone else's table, so I don't really have a great grasp on if that's actually worth the investment. What
Right.
I use here sucks for that. I hate the feeling. I'm trying to do more thumbnails and roughs digitally,
Right.
just so I'm not wasting as much paper. But I like doing my thumbnails. I like doing everything with real lead. If it's not something that can't poison me, what's the point? You know?
Nice. That's beautiful.
I mean,
What a tagline, Chris.
this is me for a book. Like I print out my own reduced pages and just I can go through a book in a day, thumbnail it everything out, and I'll scan it in, print it out on a 11 by 17 sheet,
Nice.
and then work from the. I mean, now these are really loose. These aren't even. These are my stick figures, and that's what I work from.
Nice. So then you like going back to what you said before, when you're doing the pages, you tighten the pencils first on the pages as well before you do the inking.
Yeah, yeah. Which
That's
isn't.
time consuming though. How long does it take you to get a page done? I mean, depending on how many panels.
Yeah, depending on the page. I mean, 1 to 2 days
Okay.
usually. It's not. It hasn't so far. It hasn't been longer than that. Um, and then the inking is just as long because not only am I going over every line that I already put down, as I'm working, I'm seeing new stuff that I want to add, or shadows that I'm throwing in. So it's for
Okay.
me, like I said, I'm still too new to that to have built up the speed aspect,
Right.
and
Well,
hopefully,
what are your deadline time frames for your books so far? I mean, is it like the 25 days kind of thing, or are they more flexible?
uh, they've been more flexible, definitely.
Well, that's good.
The last two issues of No Heroin, I had more time, and I left it. I let it boil down to like the last 30 days before the deadline. So I'd be, and so knock on wood, I have not missed a deadline yet.
I hope you didn't just jinx yourself.
I hope so too. I mean, it's inevitable it'll happen, you know?
Well, let's hope not. I mean, keep working at it that you don't.
Oh yeah, no one wants to, but you throw a
So
hip out and you're laid up.
that's true. That's true.
Some of these younger kids, the stuff they ask you to do, just I feel like I should be an acrobat.
Especially with Catwoman.
I was actually going to say yard work, but all right.
Yeah. So
I'm
how's the
trying to
spawn
keep
looking?
it.
Nice.
We're getting there.
So this is the question that I usually leave with myself with the guests, and then we'll do a Q&A with everyone. If you could go back in time to your younger self,
If
uh,
I could turn back time, yes, I would definitely date Cher.
you sure about that? She's a little crazy, but anyway. Well, there you go. Okay, yeah.
I was going to say, so far that has been a running
PMO.
prerequisite, it seems like.
So, what advice would you give your young self in regards to pursuing an art career?
Don't do it. Go back. Stay with your parents for as long as you can. It wasn't that Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Back to school?
Dr. Viddy Boombots. Yeah.
That's it. I don't know. I don't know what I'd give myself. I'm not sure. I love doing this, but I was never, I was always, like I said, a musician. I never saw that as work. That was a party, even.
Yeah, I used to play CBGBs, man.
But
In Flames. In Flames. That was the band I was talking about. In Flames.
Okay.
Yeah.
But my advice would be, if you're gonna do it, when you're younger. If you start when you're younger, just know that you've got to, go 110%. Put all of it in, because this is the hardest job I've ever had.
Really?
I worked the most at it, but because I enjoy it, I mind it the least.
Right.
I mean,
it's work, but it's work you love.
Right. I guess I still am in a way, but it's to just be prepared to. There's a lot of sacrifice of your time.
Right.
So it's you have to have that mindset of.
Yeah, but you have to remember, when you put 110% in, you too can live in the castle and the kingdom that he's in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm getting that knock at 3 a.m.
Exactly. Yeah. As I give one last look at the four walls around me.
Listen, and I kid, of course. It's based on what we're talking about. But dude, I mean, you're in for bigger and better. You keep growing. You keep moving forward. I mean, I've seen the progress just in the 5 years I've known you or so. So I mean, you were at New York Comic
Expo.
Yes,
that's what it was.
Yes, I missed that show actually. It's a shame it didn't last. They still do shows. They just don't do them out here anymore. I think they're on the West Coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that was a good show. They got a lot of great talent there. It was fun. And I liked the venue. But that's where I met you. Absolutely.
Yep.
So this is our cute.
I can blame them.
Yeah. No, blame my mom. She made me.
Okay.
So any questions in the Q&A? If I missed any, I'm sorry, but throw them out here now. We have a few minutes to get your questions in. We will review the questions, and probably, I would say tomorrow, I will make a video announcing the winner of the Spawn head sketch. It'll also give them time to finish it. If you want to show that sketch again.
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. No, that's not Dave and Sal, Mark. They do the Garden State Comic Fest. New Jersey Comic Expo was a show. I forgot who ran it, but they only did it for like 2 or 3 years here in Jersey, and they moved on. They used to do it in November.
Yeah, in the
right after New York Con. What?
The Raritan Center.
Yeah. So yeah, that's different. Sal puts on a great show at the Garden State Comic Fest.
Oh yeah, I've always had a good time there.
Yeah, I hung out with you there, and we were joking around. You drew that Juggernaut for me, which, man, I should have had that ready to go. You drew a Juggernaut in my sketchbook that is just killer.
I guarantee I'll cringe.
No, dude, this was sweet. I'll show it to you after the show, because I'm not going to get up and go grab it now, obviously, but it's sweet.
Yeah,
so,
I mean...
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I mean, you can't, all right? You're pantsless.
Any questions, anybody? Throw them in now if you didn't get them in, because we're going to wrap this up. And you got your chance to win the Spawn sketch cover. And just to let everybody know, it's the best question, deemed the best question. And when I do the video, like I've done before, I will announce the winner, give the question, reread it, and give the reasoning for the choice. And then you'll obviously reach out to Chris for how to take care of that. Just so you know, if Chris does not cover the shipping, I will. So this is totally on us.
That's right.
Okay? This is totally on us, so there is no shipping fees or anything required.
Right.
Criss
Shipping
was-
and handling is. Oh, and I'm going to handle it too.
And Criss was very kind to do this, spend his time to donate this. So I really appreciate it.
Phil, thank you really for everything you're doing for all the creators. I mean, right now, we need an outlet, and this is. I've had a great time doing this. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I've helped anybody. I really hope I am, but at the very least, I am having a great time talking to everybody. And most of these people so far are people that I consider friends that I know. So we have history of some kind, so we joke around, we rib each other. It's been like just hanging out,
Yeah, and they don't, and because they're friends, they don't mind blowing smoke up your ass.
Yeah. Well, I have family to do that too. Yeah. But I do hope it helps, and I will reiterate, everybody, Criss is a great guy, as you can tell. He's a phenomenal artist. Stop it. You know you are. Show your love and support if you can. I know it's tough times for everybody, but if you can't support him by commissioning some work, share out his stuff, show everybody what he's doing, pick up the comic books. Please plug the comics again for us, Criss.
Yes, we've got the Dead End Kids through Source Point Press. They'll be. I think that's going to be in early 2021 for the next series. No Heroin, which is out tomorrow, issue 2. Issue 1 is out there. I will have first printing copies. I have a few. I will also have the second. They're already in second printing.
Wow.
I believe that the last I heard, there was only 500 left of the second printings for issue 1 and 2 at the publisher's end. But again, I will have them available. And, let's just, I hope that there's going to be a second volume for No Heroin.
Me too. Me too. Let's push for it. Hashtag No Heroin. Hashtag No Heroin.
Hashtag No Heroin. Here, I'll leave you with a couple of pieces of art. I don't know if you've seen.
Oh, nice.
A cover that I don't know if it's actually going to be used at the moment. The book was put on hold.
Okay.
And then my Spidey, which
Oh, nice. Look at the
we're
detail
gonna have a
in
new.
the background.
What's that?
Look at the detail in the background. Wow.
Yeah, I hate Windows.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to have that for New York this year, but now I have time for it next year.
Absolutely. It just gives you time to have more stuff to present at the shows. Look at the positive. You know that.
Yeah, great. That just means more shit to lug in and out.
Get a roadie. You're a musician. Well, you're the drummer. We were the roadie.
Exactly.
And you can see, of course, scrolling on the bottom, his Facebook and his Instagram. Reach out to him on those. That's a great way to reach him.
That's the best way.
Nice.
Getting it in there.
And don't forget, Vampires New Jersey. And you have the original cover is available.
We did there's the Totally Rad Life of Violet from another cover. It's available.
Nice.
It's I believe it's the last days of the Kickstarter right now, last 2 or 3 days. So you can still get your copy.
And what is it called again?
The Totally Rad Life of Violet.
Totally Rad Life of Violet on Kickstarter. It ends in 2 days. Go check it out and support it.
Yes, that is from Jim Noble.
Nice. Any questions, anybody? That's it. Yes, Carlos, I agree. Just an amazing, no pun intended, the Amazing Spider-Man. Excellent. So
he was someone I always wanted to draw, but after I drew you do his suit a few times without webbing, and you're going, "What the hell were they thinking?"
Blame McFarlane. That spaghetti webbing was all him. They used to do straight lines, man. But you know what? Straight lines aren't easy either. You got to sit there and take the straight edge and all that stuff. But either way, do your job.
I've got a comment for that, but I'm not going to make it here on family-friendly TV.
Yeah. Well, I think you and I threw family friendly out the window a while ago.
Maybe.
A little bit. Well, not terribly, but a little bit.
Okay. I'm thinking my family, which is more like the Devil's Rejects.
Mine's like probably the Addams Family or the Munsters. Well, you saw my daughters earlier when we were backstage.
Adorable.
Thank you. My little one is a mini me, so all I can do is laugh. I mean, I don't know how my mother did it. I mean, she's adorable, but my God, she's into everything. We don't know if Kaylee is gonna rule the world or the prison.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I've got
oldest one.
a niece that we're kind of. She's only 5, but I can already see the prison part coming.
And my oldest is like mommy. She's much more reserved and will probably be she'll be rich someday, and hopefully I can be retired.
Yeah, I think I've got 3 kids, and they're most of them are like. I mean, for the most part, they're all smaller copies of me. I say smaller loosely because my son is like 6'4".
Okay.
And yeah, he's a musician.
Nice.
My son is an artist, like a photographer. He's my middle son, who just had his kids. My what's that?
He's about to be 1.
Yes, my grandchild is about to be 1.
Oh, congratulations.
For what? I didn't do anything. It was I had the easy part.
Well, being a granddad at what, 32? That's an accomplishment.
That's exactly. Well, I mean, I always say, all my kids are a little older than I am.
Yeah, at least mentally and emotionally, right?
Oh, definitely.
I'm waiting for your grandkids to come out with skunk. It's skunk.
I said to my son, there's no grandpa, there's no grandfather, there's none of that crap. My son is named Alec after Alice in Wonderland, ALIC. Okay. So I said the kid can call me Hatter. Let's go with the Wonderland theme.
Okay, Hatter.
Hatter.
So, well, think about it. You're Criss Madd Hatter.
Exactly.
Hey, nice. All right, look, I caught on that. Look at that. All right, guys, this is it. Last chance for questions. Otherwise, I'll review the questions that have been put up for the Spawn head sketch. I would like to thank Criss Madd for coming out today. It's always great talking with you, dude, and we'll probably be talking tonight anyway.
I'd like to thank Phil for inviting me over into his home, into his life, into his heart.
Yeah, yeah. You have to get on one of these jams, dude. We got to get you back to a convention. You have to get on one.
Yeah, you've said that how many times? And it's always, the pieces at another table.
Hang on. At New York Comic Con, held for 4 days. Yes. 4 days. It was the first person I went to. Amazing artist, a great person, but that person held it for 4 days. So I couldn't get it to you.
I love her, but wow. I don't know if it's the same person they were thinking.
No, you know who it is, but I don't want to make it look like I'm throwing anybody under a bus because I really like this person, and they are a great artist, and they did a phenomenal job on the piece.
Absolutely, it's worth it.
But anyway,
I mean, yeah. Anyway,
yeah, I don't want to get myself in trouble because they'll eventually be on the show.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
Tell Shauna we said bye, and if you have coloring needs, reach out through Criss to see about Shauna coloring your piece for you. And yeah. Criss is open for commissions. Like he said, he'll let you know if there's a delay because of deadlines. He's very open and honest with communication, but he's open, and you saw the quality of work you get, and I'm telling you, he won't break your wallet. So
I'm always here. I can always you always contact me through social media. The only times I'm really not available are normally from like 6:30 till 11. That's my time I take a break. From 11 to 6 in the morning, and from 7 in the morning till 7 at night, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, just
But
so you
I'm
know,
doing
from
it special
11
for
to
you.
6 in the morning, he's usually talking to me on Facebook, sending me some crazy stuff.
You still up? Yeah, I'm still up.
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing up? I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you doing up? We're always up. Well,
I
look,
don't
man.
like sleep.
What's that?
I don't like sleep.
Yeah, I'm not good at it either.
I'm not a fan of it. I'll do that when I'm dead, right?
We'll be sleeping a long time eventually. Let's live right now. Got
That's
you
it.
on that one. Steve Garcia, thanks guys, great and fun show. Steve has been a really loyal fan. He's become a good friend on Facebook, and he has an impressive resume. I want to get him on the show as a guest if he'll ever come on camera. Work in his life, I'll leave that for him to tell. But good guy.
Get him on.
And he came out with the Rogues Gallery name, so he's the lead rogue. So maybe we'll come up with we'll assign them names or characters, right? But
maybe you have to do a special episode with the gallery.
hey, let's get them. Yeah, man, let's get the Rogues Gallery on, and I can get up to 9 other people besides me on here. We'll get the core of the Rogues Gallery on, and let's talk comics. Let's do it. Carlos has become one of our Rogues Gallery too, and by the way, he's a phenomenal artist. I've gotten some commissions from him. Go check out Carlos Ramos. You can get some great art from him for affordable prices too. We'd like to get him on the show, so we're going to get him on the show. Anyway, he's a rogue one. He's a rogue one, Mark said. So, Chris, I guess when you're done with that, you'll show it to me and you'll post it and tag me.
Absolutely.
And we'll announce the winner tomorrow. Do you mind hanging backstage for a minute while I say see you to everybody?
Absolutely.
All right, Chris, man, you're awesome. Love your work. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure, Phil.
And I'm going to go look at that message and get divorced right after. I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Hang on.
All right.
All right, episode 10 is done. Criss Madd, a great guy, as you can see, great artist. Please support indie artists, writers, all creators. These are tough times for everybody. So if you cannot afford to support them that way, share their work, talk about their work, support it that way. Because marketing, especially free marketing, is the best way you can help these guys. So please help them out, okay? If you can commission something, great. If you can't, spread the word or buy the books. The books are probably like, what, $4.99, $5? You can pick them up. Indie has been putting out some great stuff these days. I mean, it's really great content. Honestly, I think his books are awesome. So please go check them out. Having said that, tomorrow we have a special episode with Phil Locklear, who runs his own shows, and it happens to be his birthday. So we're going to hang out and talk to him. He's another person that tries to help out the indie scene big time. He's a big voice for the indie scene. So come hang out with me and Phil Locklear tomorrow. It's the Battle of the Phils. I'm the better looking one, though, just make that clear. And then Friday we have Meredith Finch. We all know Meredith. She's written Wonder Woman and books, a lot of other books, and she just had out the Book of Ruth, which was a Kickstarter, which I think is very inspirational in its message, and I really enjoyed it. So we'll have Meredith Finch on Friday and Phil Locklear tomorrow. Thursday we'll be off. This has been a busy week, adding some people in. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Rogues Gallery and everybody that steps in makes the show. I say it every time. I mean it sincerely. It doesn't matter what guests I have on. We have a great group of people that come, watch, support, join in, talk, laugh, joke. And I truly, really love it, respect it, and appreciate everything you guys do to support this show. Every share you've given, every comment you make. I love when you rib me and make fun in the show. Keep it up, man. It's what makes this show special. It's like just a group of guys and gals sitting at a table, talking comics, having fun. And that's what this should be. Just unscripted fun. So, yes, Mark, come get your fills. There you go. Mark is my tag guy. I got to hire him for marketing. I'm telling you, he comes up with some great stuff. And now I'm just going to steal it for free. So thanks, Mark. No copyright. Kidding. So anyway, look, love you all. God bless you all. Everybody be safe. Have a wonderful night. Please tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. with me and Phil, the other Phil, and come out Friday for Meredith. Again, it's not for me. It's to support the creators. Get them an audience, okay? You guys are awesome. You rock. And I leave you with what I always leave you. Have fun. Storm the castle.